Every team in the NBA fears this Miami Heat squad, and I'm here to give you the 3 significant reasons on where that fear is coming from. All in this episode of Heat Digest, where we create daily Miami Heat content. So if that interests you, subscribe to the channel, as 85% of you guys currently watching this video are not currently subscribed. It means the world to us to see the support. So go down, click the subscribe button, help us get to our goal of 1,200 subscribers. Thank you again for the support, but now let's get into it and break down the first of the 3 reasons on where this fear is coming from for this Miami Heat team. And the first one is going to be the injuries. Now, all year long, for the first game up until last night's game, the 71st game of our NBA season for the Miami Heat, the Heat have been riddled with injuries. Last night, this is exactly what the Miami Heat injury report looked like. The only difference is that Jaime Jaquez went from listed as out to listed as day to day due to the fact that we have today off until we play tomorrow night hosting the Golden State Warriors. So to be seen, to be determined whether or not Jaquez makes a return, but it is very promising to see him go from out to listed as day to day with the injuries he's having with discomfort in his left knee and ankle. So again, promising on that end of things, but again, everyone else still listed as out. Duncan Robinson listed as out with back discomfort. Kevin Love again out with a heel injury. Tyler Hero once again out with the right foot problem he's been dealing with. We are still waiting for him to be reevaluated. Probably March 29th is the date I've been seeing, but again, nothing concrete on when that reevaluation period will start for Tyler Hero. And finally, Josh Richardson obviously has been out since February 11th when he fell to the Boston Celtics with the right shoulder dislocation. Now, this is not it. This is also from this morning, March 25th, this Monday, where this is from the Miami Herald, where it says, and I quote, "The Heat has dealt with more injuries than nearly every other team this season, though." The Heat entered Monday with the 4th most missed games in this league this season due to injuries at 245 games, according to Sports Track Injury Tracker. The only teams with more missed games because of injuries this season are 3 of the NBA's worst teams. The Grizzlies, 444 missed games. The Trailblazers at 268 games. And finally, the Charlotte Hornets at 254 games. Now, here are the standings currently as of right now, today, March 25th, before any games have taken place tonight. The Miami Heat are sitting in the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. We are a half game back from the 6th-seeded Indiana Pacers. We are tied with the Philadelphia 76ers at the 7th seed, who hold the 8th seed due to the fact that we have won the season series over the Philadelphia 76ers, which is always good to see if it does come down to a tiebreaker. But once again, the injuries and the fact that we have been able to play this high level of basketball with the amount of injuries and the amount of problems we have dealt with all season long is very, very, very crucial for this Miami Heat team, and it just proves that there is a real thing in Heat culture. There is a real thing when it comes to the next man up mentality. As last night against the Cleveland Cavaliers, we had a prime example of this. As yes, we did not have Duncan Robinson, we did not have Kevin Love, Jaime Jaquez Jr., we didn't have Tyler Hero, and despite that, we still won by a historic 37 points with a lead as big as 42 in this game over the 3rd-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers, who have been in the top seeds of the Eastern Conference all year long, and that did not mind the Miami Heat as we beat them for the 2nd time in 4 days. And last night, it was an absolute dominating performance, the best win, best performance for the Miami Heat up to this point in this season, as we are 71 games into this NBA season. Now, the injury thing does not stop there, as Bam Adebayo has been out with 11 games missed this season. Jimmy Butler has missed 21 games. Jaquez has missed 7. Duncan Robinson has missed 8. Kevin Love has missed 24. And then Josh Richardson, yes, he went down in early February 11th to be exact, in a game that we were hosting against the Boston Celtics. We had Rozier go down, which we thought was going to be a substantial injury to the right knee or possibly leg of Terry Rozier on that layup attempt he had, and when he went down, he exited, did not play until we came back from the All-Star break. Josh Richardson went down. He will not return with the injury he suffered as he dislocated his right shoulder. He will not return this NBA season for the Miami Heat, unfortunately. That was the game we also went into without Jimmy Butler due to the family issues and problems he was dealing with. It has just been a collage of different problems and like roadblocks for this Miami Heat team, all dealing with injuries. So again, 245 games in total missed this year for total injuries and like games missed due to injuries for this Miami Heat team. And that's only the first reason, is the injuries. And now let's get on to the second one, which is the offensive and defensive firepower. So with all these players missing, we are still able to win 39 games on this NBA season. And again, it's not just the ones that we are currently dealing with. It's not the Jaquez, not the Robinson, it's not the Kevin Love. A lot of it has to do with Tyler Hero, a legitimate first option on this team. Yes, we have Bam Adebayo. Yes, we have Jimmy Butler, who have both missed a substantial amount of time this NBA season, but none bigger than Tyler Hero. Here are his year-by-year stats, his regular season averages from his first year up until this current year. Now, if you look, he has not played a full NBA season yet in his 5-year career. His rookie season, he missed 27 games. In his sophomore season, he missed 28 games. In his third and fourth year, he did cut down a bit. He only missed 16 and then 15 in the third and fourth year, respectively. And then this year, he has already missed 35 games this season, and he is a substantial piece to this offense, let alone everyone else that has already missed the games in Butler, Bam, Jaquez, Robinson, Kevin Love, Josh Richardson. Yes, they are not key players in Kevin Love, Richardson, and then Jaquez, and even Duncan Robinson, but Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo are legitimately our options 1, 2, and 3 on this team. And obviously, this is going before we got Terry Rozier, who has worked his way into being a very great piece for this Miami Heat team, but he does not have as much of a significant of a role as someone like Tyler Hero, who is a legitimate 20-point-per-game scorer on this Miami Heat team, regardless of how it is currently constructed. Basically 21 points per game at 20.8 points per game. 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists while shooting 43%. Not to mention, he is a lethal three-point shooter who can dominate the ball, not only shoot from a spot-up position from behind the three-point line, but he can put the ball on the floor, just like Duncan Robinson. Both of these players have done a very great job at adding to their basketball games and adding a game inside the three-point line where they are able to put the ball on the floor, make a move, get to the basket, make a floater, make a tough layup, go to the free throw line, and shoot a high percentage. And again, without someone like Tyler Hero, when we don't have players like Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo night in and night out, things are getting worrisome on the offensive side of things, and that's where the defensive preference is really, really needed. And as of late, it has been shown by the Miami Heat. The defensive leaders, these are the top 5 in points allowed, a defensive stat for each team. And the Miami Heat are listed at the 4th best spot. 4 of the 5 teams listed are all in the Eastern Conference. All of them rivals to the Miami Heat, New York Knicks, the Orlando Magic, and the Boston Celtics. The only team not in the Eastern Conference listed above is the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are in the top spot, who have been really one of the best teams in the entire league this year. But again, the Miami Heat really showing up when it matters due to the fact that without Jimmy Butler, without Bam Adebayo, without Tyler Hero, especially as he's missed the most amount of games, that is 3 legitimate 20-point-per-game scores for the Miami Heat without those players, or even without Tyler Hero. And we need to make shift with the rotations and everything else that we'll get to in just a minute with the coaching staff that we have at the helm, thankfully, in Eric Spoelstra. We need the offensive firepower. If with the lack thereof that we have to rely on the defense. And once again, the defense is being highlighted, especially as of late, especially after last night's dominating win where we beat the brakes off of a good Cleveland Cavalier team. Again, top 3 in the Eastern Conference, has been there all year long. We came in there and we just beat them senseless. What was it? 84-121. An absolutely dominating win, winning by 37 points. One of the best performances, definitely the best performance of the year by this Miami Heat team. One of the best performances in the last 10 years for the Miami Heat on both sides of the basketball. Not only was the offense working due to the fact that the defense was working. Our energy was so high. We were playing great defense. We were causing turnovers. We were getting in the fast break. And we didn't have to rely on a half-court set really at all last night. We were able to get down the floor, and even if we weren't scoring in the fast break, we were scoring in the first 6 to 8 seconds of the shot clock, which is still extremely fast and extremely efficient for teams on the offensive end. And then for the defensive end, yes, I just praised us on the defensive end, being able to get out in transition, causing steals, causing turnovers, but also when we weren't causing those turnovers, we were creating lapses in the offense for the Cleveland Cavalier team where they'd take 20 to 24 seconds, the entire shot clock ending up in shot clock violations or forced shots by players taking mid-range jump shots like Jarrett Allen taking deep jump shots that aren't their game, mid-range jump shots, elbow or free throw line extended jump shots that simply are not part of their game. That's we're okay with living with due to the fact that that's not their game. That is a low percentage shot, and because of great defense and a shot clock that is basically at zero, you are forced into that shot. That is great defense. The Miami Heat started in a press man kind of zone, or not zone, a man coverage where they'd fall back after the Cleveland Cavaliers would pass half court into a zone defense, and it'd look a lot like a hybrid zone where it'd start as a 2-3, but it would shapeshift, and that's a weird term to use when we're talking about NBA defenses, but it'd look like we would go from a 2-3 zone to almost a 1-2-2, like a box and one type of zone where we had one player at the top of the key and then two sets of two for the next line of defense. In the next two lines of defense, I should say. And then finally, a defense that looked like to be a 2-2-1 with the last guy going back and forth from each side of the paint, depending what the strong side was with the basketball. It was phenomenal to watch, and it translated to Miami Heat victories, and really not just a victory in the game, but victories from possession to possession, creating turnovers, creating bad offense for the Cleveland Cavaliers, resulting in runouts for the Miami Heat, resulting in dunks, layups, and fast break offense, not relying on a half-court set to be run possession after possession, which is what the Miami Heat need, especially with the lack of talent we have due to the injuries we're dealing with. And all of this can be credited to none other than the coaching staff and the leadership we have at the helm for the Miami Heat. Not only do we have Eric Spoelstra, not only do we have people like Pat Riley, but the players on this team. We brought in Patty Mills. Here's our depth chart. We have DeLon Wright, Patty Mills, Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo is not really considered a long tenured veteran, but he is now becoming closer and closer to be considered a veteran with the amount of time he has played. Obviously, we have the young guys in Jovic and Jaquez and Robinson and Hayward Highsmith, but players like Thomas Bryant even, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler, Terry Rozier, not a lot of playoff experience, but again, a lot of playing experience in the regular season. Not to mention Patty Mills and DeLon Wright have been around the block in this NBA league for a while now, especially players like Patty Mills and Jimmy Butler. Not to mention Eric Spoelstra, who has done a phenomenal job. We have 36 different starting lineups in 71 games this season. And we are still in the position we are in at 39-32, just a half game out from being in a definitive playoff spot rather than being in the play-in position, which is the number one goal for this Miami Heat team with just 11 games remaining. So, absolute fear from the rest of the NBA due to the fact that we are been ridiculed with injuries from the start of this NBA season up until this video is being recorded 71 games in. We're missing key pieces, significant role players in Josh Richardson and Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Duncan Robinson, not to mention the high velocity scoring in Tyler Hero, who is a substantial piece not only on the offensive end, scoring the basketball, but facilitating, dominating the ball, taking some pressure off of Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and the new guys in Terry Rozier and Patty Mills at the guard position. So then we are able to play the defense like we did against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and this team is a threat to everyone in the NBA. I'm talking about the Denver Nuggets. I'm talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm talking about the Lakers. I'm talking about the Knicks. I'm talking about the Celtics. I'm talking about every team that you think has a chance to make a playoff push, a deep playoff push at that. This Miami Heat team, with the pieces we have, especially as we become healthier and healthier, if we provide the defense we played, especially last night, and as of late with this fourth best team defense with points given up by game, this Miami Heat team is a legitimate threat, not only to a deep playoff push, but another NBA championship push, and I can't wait to see how it goes. Let me know down in the comments what has been the biggest factor. Has it been the leadership? Has it been the injuries and the toll it has taken on this Miami Heat team? Or has it been the fact that we've been so good with the lack thereof that we've had and the ups and downs that we've had? Like, it's just amazing to watch. It's amazing to see how far we've come, and it's amazing, and I can't wait to see how far it goes in this NBA postseason. So again, thank you for watching this episode of Heat Digest. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate all your support. And remember to comment down below the biggest piece of this NBA season, whether it be the injuries, the offensive firepower that we've maintained, the defensive presence and energy we've maintained throughout the season, or the leadership really leading the way in Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley, Jimmy Butler, and players like Patty Mills and DeLon Wright. Let me know down in the comments. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.